Today I'm talking about Aljamain Sterling's transitions against Petr Yan in their second fight and what we can learn from it and improve our own transitions, which are very important for MMA. Coming up. Hi, my name is Mark Leichner from MMAcoach.net, and today we're talking about Aljamain Sterling versus Petr Yan in their second fight, and we're going to analyze, specifically we're going to analyze the transitions, which I was very impressed by. Now, I have to admit, I didn't think Sterling could win against Yan, judging from their first fight, but I was wrong. The first thing I found peculiar was that Sterling said in the press conference before the fight that there is no way that Yan is going to win.
Aljamain Sterling shocks the crowd and silences the noise. Guaranteed. Bet your motherfucking money. Put your money up. You guys are going to be rich. Guaranteed. Guaranteed.
I thought that to be strange because Yan dominated him thoroughly in the first fight before he got disqualified. But, you know, Sterling was not a champion for no reason, so I gave him the benefit of the doubt, even though I did not believe he would actually win. But once the fight started, I could see that he has improved a lot. Now, he said that Yan won on his best day against his worst day. So, I don't know, that might be the case. But in this fight, Sterling did a great job. He was moving around a lot. He was feinting and combining strikes, threats of a takedown with strikes again, and with entries into takedown, which some of the takedowns he got, and immediately as soon as he got the takedowns, he glued himself to Yan, took his back, mounted him, took his back again. It was amazing to see that jiu-jitsu on display. He wasn't able to capitalize, he wasn't able to do anything with it in terms of submissions. He did land some punches, and it was enough for him to win the fight. The total time spent on the ground in a dominant position was enough for him to win the fight. Now, that kind of level of transitions, when I say transitions, I mean a transition between one element of MMA into another element of MMA, in this case from striking to takedowns, and later from takedowns into a dominant position on the ground. You cannot get this level of skill unless you've done several things. The first thing you need to be doing is you need to drill transitions. You need to do specific drills for transitions. For example, one of the most important drills that we do in training is striking to takedowns drill, which means you either box and go into takedowns. And when I say box, I mean you don't actually spar, although we have sparring. We have boxing sparring into takedowns as well. That's the second thing you need to do. I'll get back to that. So you do some kind of a flow boxing where you're not actually sparring, but you're throwing hands at each other, and then you go into takedowns without your partner defending, and you do that for 5 minutes. Then he does that for 5 minutes. You can do that not only with boxing, but you can implement kicks as well. So you can do kickboxing into takedowns. That's the next step. So it's very important to do those kinds of drills. Because if you only drill strikes and if you only drill takedowns without strikes, you're never going to be able to develop this kind of awareness in an MMA fight. How to feint, how to go from striking to takedown. Never, never. Some people still think that if you practice arts separately, that's good enough for MMA. It's not. You should practice arts separately. You should have your boxing training, kickboxing, wrestling, jiu-jitsu and everything. Yeah, sure. But what you need to also be doing is you need to connect the elements together. How do you do that? With those kinds of drills, MMA specific drills. So the first thing, you need MMA specific drills. Most importantly, striking to takedowns. Also, striking to takedown defense, where your opponent, your partner, that is, your partner is striking, you're striking as well. He's going for takedowns, but he's not going for takedowns 100%. He's maybe going for takedowns 50%. And you defend those takedowns. You know they're coming, You try not to move your back too much, try not to backpedal too much, but you're striking actively, and when the takedown comes, when the shoot comes, you defend. It's one of the most important drills. The second thing you should do is that you should spar with transitions. What does that mean? So the first thing, drill transitions. The second thing is to spar transitions. I'll give you an example of sparring transitions. Striking to takedowns, sparring. So this time your partner will not allow himself to be thrown, but he's going to defend the takedown. And if you manage to take him down, he's going to try to get up or improve position, maybe get you into half guard or guard. The sparring stops when either you maintain the dominant position you achieved after the takedown for 3 seconds, or when he gets up, or regards, or does something to improve position for 3 seconds. I always allow my students to, when we spar, I allow them to keep going until the situation is clear. Who is on top, who is on bottom, or maybe if somebody escaped. That way you learn that when you fall down or when you take a guy down, you don't stop. MMA, there is no stoppage in MMA. MMA is not like, for example, judo, when somebody takes someone down or maybe somebody falls to their knees. The fight is stood up after 5 or 10 seconds of inactivity. It's not like boxing when two boxers clinch up, the referee separates them. It's not like that. The MMA is ongoing. It's always happening. There are not a lot of situations where the referee needs to intervene. So you need to develop fighting continuously. Another thing that you can do is to spar ground and pound. So spar on the ground with boxing gloves or with thick MMA gloves. That way you change the nature of the game. When the strikes are involved, everything changes. It's easier to pass the guard. It's easier to get submissions. You need to speed up your game in order to avoid punches if you're on the bottom. So many things are happening differently in MMA. And if you're interested to know how to transition from BJJ to MMA, watch this video. And if you like ground fighting, I have another video for you where I compare 2 styles of ground fighting in MMA. Check it out here or down below in the description. So to sum it up, Aljamain Sterling did a great job in his fight against Peter Yan. It was beautiful to watch those transitions, and if you also want to master those transitions, you need to be working on those drills. And if you need help with that, I have an instructional called MMA Mastery course that deals only with drills and training principles. In that instructional, I will not explain any individual techniques, but I explain drills and training principles which you need to improve in MMA. The link is in the description below. What did you think about the fight between Aljamain Sterling and Peter Yan? Were you also impressed with his transitions? Let me know in the comments below. If you like this video, like it and share it, and you can also subscribe to my channel. And if you like a more in-depth MMA training, check out my instructionals. My name is Mark Leichner from MMAcoach.net, and I will see you again very soon.